This video provides you with a brief introduction to the business project that you will be completing in your business communications course. This project is several weeks in length, and it's an individual project, although there is a peer review partners group exercise as well that I'll explain in just a moment. So why are we doing a business project in a business communications class? Wouldn't this be more of a strategy kind of assignment, you might be wondering? Well, the thing is, everything you do in the workplace is about communicating and influencing and managing your reputation with your managers and your peers, with external stakeholders. And so how you present your ideas in the workplace becomes critical to your career success. And so the purpose here is to provide you with an opportunity to understand not only how to investigate a business problem, but how to form that into a package that is understandable and that will allow you to influence decision makers in positive ways and possibly even get your ideas implemented. There have been a number of students who have used this project in a real way to propose solutions, usually in the company that they work for, to some known problems. And it's been a real credit to them. And they've been able to make some changes in their place of business. And so that's really exciting because this strategy works. I mean, I've used it myself. I've passed it on to my son who has used it. And as I said, Phil's students have as well, in that you can learn to make your ideas heard and to better impact your place of business so that you can make a difference. So you can use it now, you can use this strategy and technique in the future as well. So the first thing you'll want to do is identify a company that you think has a suitable problem that's fairly, not too broad in scope. You want it to be something that you'll be able to actually investigate and form some conclusions before the end of this class. And so that problem might be there's customer complaints, or you've seen some inefficiencies in operations, how things are done. Perhaps there's some new competitors lurking on the horizon, or the business is not doing enough to stand up to those external threats. Perhaps maybe a marketing issue, a pricing, a branding issue. Or you may just have seen that there are some additional opportunities for improvement or for expansion or capitalizing on something that you think would be of real benefit to the company. So you're looking at these problems because, of course, you're going to want to investigate and then propose a solution. But before we get to that, I know that there are some of you who maybe aren't working right now. Your job is going to school, and it may be that you say, well, I really don't feel comfortable just approaching a large company, and I would encourage you probably not to do that. Instead, I would say, think about the connections that you already have. It doesn't have to be your workplace. It could be that you're involved with a nonprofit organization, maybe as a volunteer, maybe as an occasional stakeholder. Maybe you know of a small business. It doesn't have to be your own. It could be that of a relative or a friend or a neighbor, but a small, or maybe it's a business that you actually do business with. And you have some connection there and could possibly make a proposal to that business. Or maybe there's a larger company but that's locally based, where you've observed some specific issues there. anything from maybe long lines to some things that you just think could be done better. And if you can establish some connection there and get the permission of that company to do some investigation, talk to some folks in the company and make your proposal, then that would be terrific as well. So I hope that gets you started thinking on what you might choose for your business problem and company. So what are you going to need to do as you go through this business problem? Well, first of all, you need to think it through and make sure that what you're proposing is going to be viable, that the stakeholders, particularly the decision maker or makers, will most likely be cooperative and welcome your input. That's always good. And then you're going to need to get permission from the company's CEO or president or key decision maker of a division that you'll be dealing with. And in the course of a small business, maybe there's only one owner or something like that, but you need to get permission. You don't want to be doing this without their knowledge, and especially as you may well want to speak with the decision maker and to better understand the problem, and maybe also some of his or her employees. So as well as maybe customers, vendors. So you want to lay that out very clearly and make sure that there's no problem with your having permission to do that. Everything's above board. And then what will you submit? Well, the next thing you'll do then is plan your proposal. It's the first thing that we'll be doing the course. And with that proposal, also a communications plan of who it is that you will need to speak with, what the needs and concerns of those stakeholders may be, and how you would plan to approach them. Then you will investigate the problem. Make sure you thoroughly understand it. Maybe observe, talk to people, do some research, and then see what alternatives are out there. And I know it's very tempting, and you may already think, oh, well, I already know what they need to do. It's social media or, whatever it may be. That may be true. However, part of the process should always be, whenever we see problems, to not just leap to a conclusion, but to consider what various alternatives may be open. Or maybe it is that you're proposing, let's say, a software solution. Well, there may be different vendors for this type of software, and therefore there are trade-offs with each of those. And so you would research those, looking at cost and efficiency and any kinds of other consequences there might be to choosing a specific alternative. All right, then once you've done that, then you will be proposing a solution, and all of this needs to be well supported, and not just your own ideas, but supported by the research that you have done. And then last, for your proposed solution, you will develop and advocate for a certain type of implementation. Here's the steps. You'll outline what it is specifically that you're proposing the company do to address the particular issue. And that's it. That's what you're going to do. And what are you going to turn in for class? Well, those are outlined in the written instructions, but I'll just briefly go over it. Yeah, the first thing due is the proposal and communications plan. And then you'll go away, you'll be talking to people, doing the investigation, looking at alternatives. And then the next thing that you'll produce will be a draft version of the slide presentation that you will be producing as your final presentation for the course. But in this draft version, you'll be able to get the input of some of your peers through the partner review group that will be assigned to you. And what you'll do is hold an online meeting, whether you use Skype or Google Hangout or whatever it is you choose to use. You will plan your meeting. You have to all meet at the same time synchronously, so you need to plan that. And then each of you will take turns presenting your slides to the other people. So this does a few things here. First of all, it forces you to get your slides done so that you have time to refine them afterwards. It helps you get comfortable with the technology and the kinds of online meetings that are constantly held in business today. So you'll have that experience. And then last, it will allow you to get some feedback on the effectiveness of your presentation and how you might refine that and improve it before it's finally due at the end of the course. So you do that, and then in week 7, your final project report, the written version, will be due, and there are instructions for that, so I'm not going to go over that in this introductory video. And then your final project presentation, in which you will appear on camera and also show your slides, and we'll be using most likely the same mechanism that I'm using right now, which is Google Hangout on Air. It works extremely well once you get comfortable with it, and the instructions are there in the course. So you'll just have to make sure that you try it ahead of time so that at the last minute you're not panicking over trying to use the technology. And that's it. I think that you'll find that you learn a number of things as you go through this process, and hopefully you'll find it to be an enjoyable opportunity and one that will bring some credit to you with the company that for whom you propose your business solution. Thank you very much.